real quick before we get out of here, there was one more story I want to touch on. This will be like a lightning round for all of you guys to chime in on, which is basically a story that I don't think is getting enough attention right now, which is a lawsuit against the new James Gunn Superman movie. This is actually something that could potentially have major impact on the opening of this film. So the Superman estate basically is suing Warner Brothers Discovery to block the release of James Gunn's Superman movie in key territories. And when we talk about key territories, we're talking about Canada, the UK, Australia, stuff like that, major film distribution markets. And the reason for this is because the copyright laws in those countries are different from the ones in the United States, where these powerful, rich studios keep extending the copyright on these characters. And this is a big reason why DC Comics has been trying to phase out the original Superman and move to like gay Superboy and stuff like that, which is basically because like now the original creators' estates are becoming co-copyright holders of the original Superman. And the thing is that with James Gunn's Superman movie, because these territories now have different copyright laws where the original rights holders have gotten back some of their rights to these characters, they're saying that they owe them money before they can release these movies into these territories. And this could be like a big impact on Superman's box office if they can't hit like these UK territories. So I just wanted to get everyone's take, especially Brian, because I know Brian follows this stuff with the Gunniverse pretty closely. So what do you guys think about this lawsuit and the impact it could have on the relaunch of the DCEU?
I don't think it'll have any impact.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think it will. I think what's going to decide whether or not the relaunch of the DCU is successful, which is either going to save or sink the superhero franchise for a while, is going to be whether the movie's good. And any weird trailers, people complaining about it, Snyder fans, lawsuits, all the dumb shit out there is not going to matter. As long as the movie's good, all that stuff is going to go completely into the trash can of history. It's not going to matter.
Odin, Tom, do you guys agree?
If the movie is just decent or bad, just for in spite of Brian, I hope that tears the film apart. I hope that it tears every dream of every DCEU film going forward down, and I hope that it all comes crumbling in a fiery blaze of glory, and remind them James Gunn's not that talented. Anyway,
what is wrong with you?
Peace.
Mic drop. Pro, what do you think about that?
They'll get ironed out. The bigger issue is they've got 9 years before some of these big DC characters hit public domain, and then everything goes into chaos. So, James Gunn, make the money while you can. Although Superman is called Superman, he does not always represent super. So, if you just want to call him man, that'll be okay.
Well, I know you're joking, but they did take the American way out of there for a while. Remember that? Yeah, no, I think Brian's right. I think at the end of the day, I'm not even sure who's bringing. I know it's the Superman estate, but it's my understanding like some of the more immediate family is in the movie, right?
I believe it's the Schuster estate that's suing it.
Yeah, so like, is this like the great grandkids that are like extended on that are pissed that they didn't get a piece of the dough or what? Look, at the end of the day, Brian's right. They're just going to pay him out. Shut them up. Yep. They're going to go away. Because what are they going to do? They can't really hold them out for too much because then you get to a point where it's a stalemate, right? Like they're like, look, first of all, you can't extort us for a bunch of money because we can just say the movie's not going to come out and nobody makes any money. Then we'll just turn around and sue you because we spent all this money and you made it impossible for us to release it, hence costing everybody a bunch of money. So at the end of the day, Brian's right. A few checks are going to be written quietly under the table. This is probably the last we're going to hear about it. Honestly, I'm surprised they are actually making as big of a deal out of it as they are, but I can tell you why they are. And it's because, Odin's attitude on the way out. There is this contention in Hollywood that is a mix of anti-Zasloff mixed with Snyder Bros that is such an anti-campaign against this that this thing has been under such a microscope. I've never, ever seen a launch of a franchise or IP like this be under such a microscope. Look, and I get it, the fisheye lens thing, like people are freaking out about this stuff. Like, it's like, I don't remember us ever being this pedantic about anything ever.
So true. It's weird, man. It's weird.
Let the movie come
average
out. I can't believe
Yeah.
I'm saying this. Let the movie come out
Yeah.
and let's judge it then.
Tom is saying this. Tom is saying, can we be less reactive, please?
Like, I mean, I get it too, but I'm like, come
You've gone too
on.
far if Tom is telling you to relax. Let's
And
be
I mean,
real.
and it's true about Zaslav. They have treated him like Trump in Hollywood for ever since he's taken over Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Nothing he can do is any good. Nothing. They can find a way to twist it. Just how they treat Bob Iger, it's the absolute opposite to him. So nothing he can do is right. And again, I don't agree with everything he's done. Same thing with James Gunn. I don't have as much faith as, I'd like to have with this, but at the end of the day, it's like, what else do we have at this point? Because let me tell you something, guys. If Superman fails, superhero movies are done.
It's over.
Not just DC, but all of them. Because Marvel is also going to realize that shit, we are screwed. Because look at what the last few Marvel movies have made. If they weren't Deadpool or Spider-Man, and don't think they don't notice that. Why do you think Robert Downey Jr. and although he says he's not, Chris Evans is coming back?